Hello everybody, my name is Eric and today I'm going to be talking with you about the tutoring referrals. We're going to be covering a few things in this video. I don't anticipate it'll be that long, probably less than 15 minutes, but it's going to be packed full of useful information. We're going to cover things like the service standard, treatment plan, evidence-based work, evidence-based report writing, how to maximize the tutoring referral, how to maximize billing, how to maximize your client's ability to grow, the importance of being creative. We got a lot to talk about in this video and I only have a little bit of time. If you don't remember anything I say in this video, remember two things. One, when in doubt, ask. Again, when in doubt, ask. And the second thing I want you to remember is this: think outside the box. All right, I just happened to be wearing this shirt today. It was not by chance, and please excuse the bacon collar. All right, who am I? My name is Eric. Again, I have been in this industry since 2013, working with the Department of Child Services, both as a tutor and as a tutoring supervisor. And for a very, very, very short amount of time, about 2 months, I worked as a family case manager. I worked as an FCM. I've also been a teacher for a long time now. I've taught middle school and high school science. I was that boring science teacher that everybody hated. No, I'm just kidding. I was fun and engaging, and it just ties all into what I do now. I love working with kids. I love seeing them grow intellectually, academically, emotionally, spiritually, all that good stuff. All right, I don't know why I did this, but it is what it is. All right, let's get right into this video. Also, guys, I'm going to attach some links to the bottom if you need cheat sheets, if you need a summary of this video, a lot of links at the bottom to help you better your trade, better your profession. Okay, this is a fantastic field to get into if you are a creative person. If you are somebody who loves working with kids, this is a good field to get into. This is what I'll say about tutoring. A lot of people get intimidated by tutoring because they think they have to be whiz kids or brainiacs. You do not. It is not necessary for you to be able to do calculus or trigonometry to be an excellent tutor. It's not necessary for you to be able to read at a master's degree level to be in high school, middle school, or elementary school tutor. What is needed, though, is for you to be able to motivate kids, push kids in the right direction, be creative, set structure for them, and empower them. If you don't hear anything else I say in this video, empower kids and keep them engaged, and you will see them grow and do amazing things 99.999% of the time. And that tiny percent that you can't reach or you can't help, it is what it is. For every one kid you can't reach, you can reach 99, and that's facts. All right, enough of the preaching. Let's get right into the work. How to maximize your tutoring referral. Today we're going to be talking about understanding the service standards, treatment plans, SMART goals, the importance of evidence-based work, the importance of evidence-based report writing, how to write a report. Trust me, tutoring reports are some of the easiest reports to write. You just got to understand the outline. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about some of the softer skills that are needed when you are working and finessing in this industry. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to talk about some of the other referrals that can be useful when you are working as a tutor. Let's get right into it. Tutoring referral, what the heck am I talking about? Well, tutoring referrals come from DCS. DCS is responsible for the health, safety, and well-being of the child under their care, but they're also responsible for their education, and that's where we come into play. They have visitation referrals to help families bond together and spend time together. They have home-based case referrals that help parents mostly get their stuff together and get on the right track. They have father engagement referrals that are specifically for helping fathers to get themselves together and back on track. They have drug treatment plans and drug treatment plan referrals and all that stuff. But we work in the education realm. We are tutors and we get tutoring referrals. I love tutoring referrals. Why? Because they allow for maximum creativity. You get to work directly with kids. You see them on a daily basis, and you see them grow intellectually, academically, emotionally, socially, all that good stuff. All right, let's talk about the service standards. Service standards basically is what you can and cannot do with a TLC referral. Remember, TLC stands for tutoring and literacy. Sometimes you'll hear me call it tutoring, sometimes TLC, depends on the situation. Okay, again, Service standards, what you can and can't do with your tutoring referral. Now, I don't want to talk about what you cannot do. Let's talk about what you can do. What you can do is your typical run-of-the-mill tutoring. Remediation, help with homework, studying, study guides, tests, assessments, all the basic things you think about when you think about a tutor. But you can also do some other things, some really flexible and creative things. For example, built into the tutoring referral is opportunities for you to do mentorship type stuff. Now, granted, you are not a mentor, you're a tutor. But when you're working with a kid academically, there is opportunity for you to include social maturity, right? Social maturing. So take advantage of those things. Life skill development. You can do those things within the service standard as long as you're doing it in the correct way and you're tying in academics. For example, you can take a kid to a free resource like the Indiana Civil War Museum, which is downtown. If you have a high schooler, middle schoolers learn about the Civil War, you can take them to that museum and tie in, right, the tangible, right? Tie in real life with their education, mix it all together, and you have yourself a field trip. Perfectly fine. Let's say you have a kid who is learning about Asian weaponry in their cultural class, right, in their social studies class. You can take them to a karate tournament as long as you can tie in the academics. Now, the last example I gave with the karate tournament, that's kind of on the fence. That's iffy. So when in doubt, ask. Ask your team lead, ask your supervisor, or ask the FCM and make sure that it's okay. If you don't remember anything I say, remember, when in doubt, ask. You can be creative as you want to be with TLC. Just remember, stay within the service standards. Now, what can't you do with a TLC referral? You can't do things like visitations. You can't do things like visit mom and dad in prison and bring the kid and so they can spend some time bonding. That you can't do. Why? Because that falls more in the realm of visitation. So when in doubt, ask. Now, what you can do is take a child, for example, if it's okay with the FCM and it's been approved, you could take them to a parent's home and have them work on an assignment together, because that is academic and that ties in some family bonding. It all depends on the comfort level of the family and of the caseworker and what DCS says. So when in doubt, again, ask. But there's plenty of opportunities to be flexible. Also, be engaging. That's something that a lot of tutors sometimes struggle with. Be engaging. Remember, these kids are in school 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. Last thing they probably want to do when they get out of school is jump back into the academics. So if you want to maximize your client's engagement level, if you want to maximize your billable hours, right, which affects your pockets, make sure that you are engaging, creative. Make your tutoring sessions one that kids want to come to. Work on small incentives to bring kids in and keep them in and make them want to come back. For example, things that I typically do, I'll say something like this. Here's an example. Little Timmy, he hates math. So I'll give Timmy a 10 math, worksheet. Once he finishes that, we'll work on it together. I'll clear some gaps in his understanding, and then I'll give him 5 minutes to hop on his tablet and play some games or watch YouTube or have him draw a picture. Or whatever it is that he's interested in. Why? Because I need to keep him engaged. I need to give him a little in order to get a little. And having that relationship will go so much further than just doing all the boring tutoring work, okay? Nobody wants to work with somebody who's boring. So be creative. Provide kids with some incentives. This is my personal office, but I have my Xbox here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff. I got a little air hockey table there. I got a little drum set, piano over there. I got my Xbox up there. I keep it fresh. I keep it relevant. I want this to be a place where kids can feel comfortable and engaged. Now, not everybody has an office like this, and I understand that. If you're at a library, bring a couple of tablets for the kids to play games. Bring some board games. Bring some playing cards. You may want to take a kid to get some ice cream afterwards. Keep them engaged. Keep them wanting to come back, okay? All right, let's move on. Another thing we're going to talk about is the importance of SMART goals. What are SMART goals? Well, SMART goals are helping a child get from point A to point B and putting steps in between so they know they're going in the right direction. We call that a SMART goal. SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, and they're timely. Now, there's a couple other acronyms you can sprinkle in there, but at the end of the day, just know you and the child have to know where they're at, and you and the child and placement and DCS needs to know where you're trying to take the child, and they need a time frame and they need some specifics on how you're going to do that. That's all you need to know about the SMART goal, okay? It should be very intuitive after a while. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about evidence-based work. We get paid by DCS, and DCS wants to see what we're doing. So we have to make sure that we're showing evidence-based work. This means that we need to show that kids are either growing academically or they're not, right? Because we're being paid to help kids grow academically, so they need to see the work that we're doing. The only way they're going to be able to see the work we're doing is if you're showing them the work and reporting the work that your client is doing, the work that you're doing. How do we do that? We do that through evidence-based report writing. So, evidence-based report writing, again, you need to show in your reports, in your writing, this is where your child is, and this is where I'm trying to take the child. And this is the in-between points, okay? Your evidence-based report writing should have a couple of key elements in it. And again, I'll attach all this to the bottom of this video if you need to reference it. And again, you feel free to stop, rewind, fast forward. You can do it in slow motion if you like. However you want to play the video is up to you. But this is what you need for your reports. And this is what I'm looking for, your team lead, your supervisor, and the FCM. We're all looking for the same information. Number one, in your report, we're looking for a clear objective. When we open up that report, we should be able to see, okay, this is clearly what the whole purpose of this tutoring session was about. Next, we want to see a clear outline of the work that was performed or work that was attempted with the client. For example, an introduction activity, a main activity, and a closing activity. Your opening activity can be you asked the kid about their day, you wrote down what they learned, or they wrote down what they learned, or they presented their homework to you, or you combed through their e-learning and saw what assignments needed to be done. Those are opening activities. The main body or the main work section should just have what you worked on for the majority of the time. For example, say little Timmy needed help with fractions. He had a few assignments in that area, so you worked on that for the most of the tutoring time. Perfectly fine. The last thing we want to see in that report is a clear exit ticket or a clear closing activity. Closing activity can be, you had the client verbally summarize what they learned, or you had the client, do an exit ticket. An exit ticket is just like an end of the day pop quiz. It's 3 to 5 questions summarizing what the client learned, and you use that as evidence of growth or decline. Remember that, evidence of growth or decline. You can do that with an exit ticket. 3 to 5 questions is all you need in order to show growth or non-growth. Okay, now there's 2 ways you can write a evidence-based exit ticket. One would be, I actually just alluded to both, but one would just be your typical, hey, verbally summarize what you learned, right? That's an informal exit ticket. And for some kids, that may work, right? You may have a kid who's low functioning. You may have a kid who's not that great at writing or doing math yet. And so verbalizing may be your best option. Or you may have some other kids where they're a little bit sharper and you want to do a formal exit ticket where you give them a pop quiz or a written assessment. It doesn't have to be very long. It just needs to be enough to show growth or non-growth, okay? Formal exit tickets or formal evidence-based assessments, you may hear me use those words interchangeably, by the way. Formal assessments would be your pop quizzes, your test, online assessments, their grades on homework assignments. These are things that are a little bit more tangible and show, in my opinion, more validated evidence than your typical verbalize this, verbally summarize what you learned, tell me about, those type of things. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to ramble too much about the evidence-based part. All right, let's move on and talk about documentation. And I've already kind of alluded to it, but we're going to continue with it. Another thing that we want to see in your report writing is that you're communicating with your placement or with the child's placement. And by placement, I'm talking about whoever is in charge of that child, who's ever the guardian, whether that's their parents, foster parent, whatever the situation is. It could be a group home, whomever. We want to see clear evidence that you're speaking with placement. This keeps everybody on the same page about a child's academic growth. Okay, so what I typically do is at the end of my tutoring session, I will send a picture of my exit ticket or of the child's exit ticket to the placement, and then I'll just write a quick text message. It could be 2 sentences on just what we covered in their behavior and what I plan to do with them next session. Again, it keeps everybody on the same page. Parents really appreciate when they know what it was you worked on and where their child is academically. Lastly, we want to see in the report would be, I wouldn't say last thing, but another thing we want to see in the report is their engagement level. Were they engaged? Were they disengaged? Were they respectful? Were they disrespectful? Did they appear angry? Did they appear happy? Make sure that you're writing that in your report. By the way, make sure that when you are documenting how your impression of a child, make sure you're using objective terms. So you wouldn't say something like, little Timmy was angry today. You would say, little Timmy appeared angry today. Little Timmy appeared emotional today. And then you want to provide a little bit of evidence on why or how they appeared in whatever state they were in, or whatever state you believe they were in. Okay? Remember, objective writing is very important. And so is evidence-based writing. I will put a link at the bottom of this video to the differences between those two and how to best write objective statements. Last thing that we want to see in the report is the next time you anticipate seeing that child. That helps us with anticipate billing. It also helps us anticipate when you're going to see the child, and we may do a pop-up. We may pop up and see you at the library just to check and see how little Timmy is doing, okay? So you want to definitely write when you anticipate seeing that child next. Okay, let's move on. Almost done with this video, by the way. Let's talk about some of the soft skills that are needed for a tutor. Number 1 would be creativity, flexibility, and ingenuity. Matter of fact, if you could put an iddity on the back of anything, it's needed for this role, okay? Flexibility, creativity, all those ivvities. All right. 1, remember guys, kids are in school 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. They don't want to see you for another 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and do all academics. Be creative, be fun, be engaging. Create an environment where kids want to work with you and want to spend time learning with you. Again, this will maximize your opportunity to see that client grow. This will maximize your opportunity to see your pockets grow. This will maximize your opportunity to get more clients from DCS. Remember, you are more than likely an independent contractor. So you are your business, right? You represent this agency, but you also represent yourself. And there's nothing better than getting referrals directly from a caseworker. Word will spread about the quality of your tutoring, the quality of your work, and referrals will come your way. Trust and believe. Just like we have team meetings and training, FCMs have their own team meetings and training. And one thing DCS and case managers do is they talk amongst each other. So if you're a great tutor, word's going to spread and you're going to get referrals. If you're a terrible tutor, word's going to spread and people aren't going to want to work with you. I'm just giving you the reality. Again, I worked as an FCM for about 2 months. So I learned a little bit about some of the ins and outs of things on the DCS side, and you'd be surprised the importance of having a good name in this industry. Last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to hop off here and you get to stop, rewind, pause, or whatever you'd like to do this video, is don't underestimate the importance of taking pictures. If you see a kid not engaging, you may want to take a picture of them not engaging in the work. Meaning, you don't want to take a picture of the kid while they're not engaging, but at the end of the day, you may say, hey, this is what I wanted to work on the kid, but he wasn't engaged, and this is how much work he got done. Or if you're at an event, you're doing something educational, you went to a museum and the kid was engaged, take pictures. Kid got an A+ on his assignment. Take a picture. Send that to the FCM. Send that to the placement. Let them know and see the good work that your clients are doing. Please believe this. When FCMs get good pictures, when they get evidence that a child is engaging, they share that with their teams, right? Remember, we have team meetings, FCMs have team meetings, and everybody wants something positive to say. So when you provide those pictures of the kids engaging, when you provide the A+ paper, or the B+ paper, or whatever growth that child is showing, you are not only advertising the work that your client is doing, but the work that you're doing with the client. And that can only bring you more quality clients. Remember, if you have a good working relationship with the FCM and they know you're a good worker, they're going to send you good kids to work with. They're going to send, when I say good kids, I mean they're going to send you quality referrals, right? They're going to send you quality kids to work with, so you can maximize your billing and maximize their opportunity to thrive as a FCM, and you're going to maximize the student's ability to thrive as a student. Okay, everybody wins. Okay, very, very, very last thing, and then I'm done. Please understand that there are other referrals that you may be able to use as a tutor. Get with your FCM and ask about the home-based parent. Talk with your FCM about parent aid referrals. Parent aid referrals can be paired with a tutoring referral in order to maximize billable hours. So for example, under most cases, if you have a middle school or high schooler, you can bill about 2.5 hours a day for tutoring. But if a kid needs additional help, you can ask for a parent aid referral, and the parent aid referral can have you extend your tutoring services a little bit longer. So under a homemaker parent aid referral, you may be able to see the kid for 2 hours. And then you can also see the kid for another 2 hours under tutoring referral. Pair those two referrals together, and now you can see a kid for 4 hours a day. Again, get with your supervisor or team lead or the FCM to best go about how to get a parent aid referral. It's not for everybody, and it's not for every single case, but it's a possibility that an FCM can grant you that referral. And again, that can only help you. That can only help you and the client, help the client grow academically, help you grow financially. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do a quick summary and then we're done. Again, we talked about how to maximize the referral. We talked about the importance of setting SMART goals. We talked about the importance of being creative. We talked about that when in doubt, ask. Again, when in doubt, ask. Be creative. Be engaging. Be fun. Be relevant. Provide kids with small incentives to meet certain milestones. As far as report writing, remember, report writing must be evidence-based. By evidence-based, I mean show growth or non-growth. This can be done through formal or informal assessment tools. I'm going to link all that stuff at the bottom of this video if you need some more resources. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video all the way through. Feel free to stop, rewind, fast forward, or play it in slow motion if you want some entertainment. If you have questions, thoughts, perspectives, comments, all that stuff, feel free to comment below, let me know, or get with your supervisor, team lead, or your family case manager if you have additional questions. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be blessed. Y'all take care. This is Eric, and I'm out.